All right, tonight's Thursday night. We got the Miami Dolphins versus the Baltimore Ravens. I'm picking Baltimore, both straight up and against the spread. This game is going to be horrible to watch, probably like 4-0 or something like that. Baltimore will barely cover, but at least we get to watch. Well, you can watch the game. I'm not going to watch it. I might watch old reruns or something. Next, we have Houston Texans versus Seattle Seahawks. I'm picking Seattle straight up, but I'm picking Houston against the spread. I see Seattle winning on like a field goal at the last second, or Houston just not being able to move the ball at the very end of the game. A high-scoring game, contrary to what people might believe, but just close enough at the end. Then we have the Cowboys and the Redskins. I like the Redskins. I like what they stand for, but they just looked kind of bad against Philly, and I think Dallas has just as much of a powerful offense, and the Redskins are having those issues stopping them. So I'm picking Dallas in both straight up and against the spread. Then we got the Steelers versus the Lions. I really didn't know who to pick. Detroit didn't play last week. Pittsburgh, they've been acting a fool in the news and on the TV and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to pick them just because the Lions can't ever really get off their own shit. And Pittsburgh, man, they got Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell. Denver Broncos versus Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, I'm going to have to make the homer pick. I think Denver can... The one thing that Denver got beat up on by the Chargers was not blocking the outside linemen, and I don't feel like the Chiefs have one of those. They have interior linemen. At the same time, I think Denver's defense can stop Alex Smith. They've done it before. They can do it again. Minnesota versus Cleveland. I'm going to pick Minnesota straight up. Cleveland against the spread. Again, just two offenses that don't do anything for me, so that means it's going to be a closer game, and I think Cleveland can cover the spread. San Francisco versus Philly. Probably don't need to talk about this. I think Philly just dominates the game completely, but I thought 13 points was a little much. San Francisco does love to play well in garbage time, so I think they come in within that 13-point spread and cover that. Chicago versus New Orleans. 4 or 5, 10 passes, whatever Trubisky threw last week, just isn't going to cut it against Drew Brees and the Saints, so I got them winning big. Carolina versus Tampa Bay. I think all that Cam gets, I think he's really a focused quarterback, and I feel like Tampa Bay isn't just, they showed it last time they played each other. I think Carolina runs away with this one again, and Tampa Bay really has to figure out what it wants to do on offense. The Falcons versus the Jets. I don't know whose Falcons these are, but I'm pretty sure they're good enough to beat the Jets. Oakland against Buffalo. Again, Oakland was supposed to be the division champs this year. They didn't make it. Buffalo was supposed to be in the cellar. They didn't make it. I guess into the cellar. They made it to the top of the heap. So let's say Buffalo and Buffalo by a long shot. Indianapolis versus Cincinnati. I'm telling you, I had the hardest time spelling both of those cities, and I feel like I'm a smart guy. I'm going to pick Cincinnati straight up and Indianapolis with the spread. Cincy's offense doesn't do anything for me again, so that's a big number to me. I think Jacoby Brissett is good enough to get enough points to get close enough. And the Chargers versus the Patriots. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. Patriots run away with it. The Chargers, I don't know who the Broncos were last week, but that wasn't. The Chargers beat us. They beat the Giants, and they've beaten just garbage teams all around. They can't keep up with a powerhouse like New England.